August is fall.
It is, though.
Because back to school.
Exactly. And here in North Carolina, in the past full week, it has been max 70 degrees outside, cloudy and rainy. So
yeah, it's giving fall.
North Carolina is giving fall, and so are we.
It's false fall, though, you know?
I know. I'm like already dreading when it gets hot again.
As sad as I am to see summer leave us behind, I do love me some fall reading.
It is the best time of year, for sure. I have started this TBR list months ago. I'm so excited.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well, I threw mine together.
It is the best time. I know. If you have been here for any length of time, you will know that Elena is a hardcore summer and Christmas lover.
Yep.
And I am a dedicated fall lover, which actually works out very well.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it's like complimentary, you know?
Exactly. And we can like help the other get excited for our non-exciting book times.
I like fall reading.
You do. And it has the best books. Last year, we did a comprehensive TBR for all of the books that we were planning to read basically between now and like the end of November for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Then in December, I read my
Christmas books. So we are back again this year with an even better list. I am personally super excited about literally everything on my list and like at least half of what's on your list.
That's awesome. Okay, great. Just like last year, we have separated our TBR into categories. So we've got horror/thriller, you know, the spooky vibes. We have witchy, cozy fall, and vibey fall. And those are two different things.
They are. Okay, so I have us starting with horror/thriller, which is probably your least favorite.
For sure.
I'm actually not a thriller girl, but for some reason when it becomes fall, I really want to like dab my toes into like horror and thriller. So I have some really exciting ones on my list.
Okay, what you got?
Okay, the first on my list is Diavola by Jennifer Marie Thorne. This cover is probably one of my all-time favorite book covers.
Ooh.
It's been on my radar for a while, but I'm going to do it this year. This is a twist on the classic haunted house. It mixes like a horror travel story with some good old-fashioned dysfunctional, terrifying family dynamics.
Classic.
The main character, Anna, goes on her annual family trip to Italy and not only has to deal with the disturbing dynamics of her own family, but an increasingly haunted, cursed vacation home that they are in.
Cursed vacation home in Italy.
I don't even know what this would be, but I feel like Italian architecture, ghost vibes sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, Italian ghosts.
Yeah, exactly. And it feels like it matches the cover perfectly. Like I'm expecting the cover in a book. The tagline reads, "Warning, may invoke feelings of irritation, dread, and despair that come with large family gatherings." So honestly, we feel this so much.
And in your notes, does that say, is this on Kindle Unlimited?
Oh, it is. I've tried to mark that down so I don't buy them myself.
Okay, the first thriller that caught my eye is called The Black Queen by Jamada Emil. This is a murder mystery type thriller situation set in a town called Lovett, where the first Black homecoming queen has just been murdered. Nova Albright's body was then discovered the next morning after her homecoming queen coronation, the drama, at the old slave cemetery that she was spending her weekends like renovating or rejuvenating or whatever. And the story follows her best friend, whose father is the first Black police captain in Lovett, as the best friend tries to solve the murder. And she thinks she already knows who did it, which tells me it's probably not the person that she thinks it is. Right?
You sound very excited about this. I'm actually kind of into it, though. It's giving like Carrie. Kind of like homecoming queen type thing.
Yeah, like popular, everyone loves her, but someone didn't. It's like got like 1,000 reviews on Goodreads. Like nobody's read it.
How'd you find it?
I came across it at a librarian conference.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a good story.
And I took a picture of the cover and it's been sitting in my phone.
Okay. Next is Isabel Canas's new book, The Possession of Alba Diaz. This comes out in literally a couple days, like mid-August. No one does historical fiction horror like Isabel Canas. Honestly, I am not much of a horror person, but I've read all of her previous books, too.
All
She really
two.
has two. I love how she mixes Mexican folklore into her horror stories. I just find it so fascinating. You learn a little bit about Mexican history as well. And she puts romance in all of her horror stories. To be honest, sometimes a little too much, but it feels like a very accessible way for me to read horror.
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
And it gives it kind of like a little, I don't know, I feel more invested in the characters when they're in love.
Exactly. And her book covers are incredible.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
the cover
obsessed
art. Yeah.
with every single one. So this one is set on a Mexican silver mine in 1765 and follows, I don't know her name, follows a young woman who essentially becomes possessed by a demon that I think is like awoken from inside the silver mine.
Could her name be Alba Diaz?
Oh, yes.
Wait, but she gets possessed by what? A demon?
By a demon. And there's like a bit of a forbidden love storyline. It looks really good. I personally am scared shitless of demonic possessions.
Totally. Because of those movies.
Uh-huh. Wait, what movies?
Are
you talking?
I'm talking about Paranormal Activity.
I didn't watch them. You had to watch them and then tell me the entire plot. And
Right, I remember
gave
doing
me
that.
nightmares.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
We are babies. We're not like horror buffs.
No. So I'm a little concerned about this. But since she relies so heavily on romance, I think I can handle it. And again, I just love how she so effortlessly weaves historical context into like the overall horror of it all. It's so fascinating. So I'm actually really excited for this one. I'm going to have to like read it only during the day.
Yeah, I might read this one too.
You should.
Then we can like talk about it and it'll make it less scary.
Yes. Yeah.
We're acting like this is like Stephen King.
I know.
No one else probably thinks that her writing is scary.
Moving on to my thrillers, I have Heartwood by Amity Gage. I love the cover of this as well.
I love that author's name.
Isn't it? It's interesting, isn't it? So this is a mystery thriller where an experienced hiker goes missing on the Appalachian Trail. When I first read this, I was very intrigued because we live in North Carolina, which includes the Appalachian Trail. This is set in Maine, so it's actually nowhere near us.
Okay.
But it gave me God of the Woods vibes.
Okay.
We read God of the Woods last fall, and even though it wasn't my favorite, it was very atmospheric, and I really wanted to kind of revisit that like in the woods, lost type.
Yeah, that's eerie
Situation. And I feel like this will be a good fill-in for that. There's a lot of different characters and a lot of seemingly unrelated perspectives. You also get to experience the perspective of the lost hiker, I think solely through like notes and poems that she jotted down while hiking for her mother, which just feels like very eerie.
Yeah.
So I'm just really like interested to see how the author weaves this together and like what happened to this hiker. So hopefully it's a thriller that I can enjoy.
Okay, the thriller that I am intrigued by this season is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alex Feeney. I know Alex Feeney is a very popular author. I've never read anything from them.
I can like picture this book cover actually.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. And I don't know, the premise just hooked me.
I agree.
So in this story, Amelia and her husband Adam win like a free trip to Scotland. So they head up there with their dog. What's the dog's name? I'm sure I wrote it down. Bob. And so they head up to Scotland because they've won this free trip. And their marriage is on the rocks. And they're hoping that the trip will like revive the spark, you know? But for a super convenient horror plot element, Adam has face blindness, which means he can't recognize faces. He's had it his whole life. He doesn't even recognize the face of his own wife, which I'm like, okay, that's a little bit.
I don't understand how this works. Yeah.
It's very convenient for a thriller, don't you think?
Yeah. That's like some very intense face blindness. I mean, how do you even get
like,
through
at
life?
And I feel like you'd still recognize like their voice.
Yes. Even their smell and everything.
Yeah, totally. Like, this is your wife, you know? It's not like your mailman.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm sure that will add a fun element to this. And here's the part that hooked me on the back of the book. It says they actually didn't win this trip. One of them has a secret. One of them is lying.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. I don't know. It's supposed to be a super fast read with short chapters, like really fast paced and like
good
keep
like
you going.
cliffhangers, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think it's good to read one of these every once in a while.
Yeah, it's something different.
Yeah. The last on our horror thriller list is Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. This is another one that's been on my radar for a while, and I'm going to definitely tackle it. It is a creepy YA fantasy horror story. It's about two young boys at a private school who are like BFFs. They basically write these like twisted fairy tales together. So the one boy, Andrew, writes the stories. And then his friend Thomas does all of the like illustrations and kind of brings them to life. So Thomas, the illustrator, starts acting really strangely and like disappearing into the woods at night. So Andrew decides to follow him into the woods one day. And what I'm thinking is basically they realize that the monstrosities that they have dreamed up are a reality or something.
Ooh.
I've heard that this is like pretty creepy, like pretty rough for YA. And sometimes I don't really understand why these things are YA.
Like Coraline.
Yeah,
you know?
there's a lot of like YA books that I'm like, these are pretty creepy and intense.
It's actually kind of scary.
I've heard, yeah, it's like very brutal.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of relying on the YA tag to make it manageable for me.
Yeah, I get that.
So we will find
Kids
out.
love to be scared, man.
Well, that's true. I guess that is
It's
true.
a very, very popular genre in my library.
Is it just YA if it doesn't have any like spicy?
Yeah, I swear the only difference is that in a YA book, they can't do anything.
They can't do anything on, yeah.
But violence, fine.
Yeah, that is interesting.
The more we're talking about all these fall books, the more excited I am for my fall reading journal update. We have created some new mini shelfies that I'm going to be using to track our progress on these fall TBR books.
Yes, we have two. One is like a dedicated witchy shelfie because we know a lot of you love to read a lot of witchy books this time of year. And one is more just like fall in general. They each have 20 books. You can do like 3 different shelfies if you're going to blitz through 60 books this fall, like I
That would be
definitely
amazing.
am.
Oh, yeah. You can use these shelfies to track just about anything, just completing the books or what formats you read them in. But I think I'm going to do it like the 25 books in 2025 shelfie, where I track what our star ratings were for these.
That's a great idea.
So subscribe to our channel if you want to see what we think about all these books, because in the fall reading journal update, you'll see that on my beautiful new fall spread. And Erin, where can they get this gorgeous fall shelfie design?
You can find them on our Etsy shop, Green Valley Printables. They will both be available there very soon.
Link in the description box.
Yeah.
And we'll have them in formats that will fit anybody's reading journal. Okay, cozy books. We've got a doozy for you. The new Travis Baldree is coming out. When's it come out?
Mid-November.
Mid-November. Oh, that's actually so far away.
I thought you were going to say perfect because it is perfect.
I guess.
But you're right. You're going to have to wait a little while.
It's called Brigands and Bread Knives, and it is a sequel to Legends and Lattes. Last year, he came out with a prequel called Bookshops and Bone Dust, and it sounds like some of the characters from the prequel are jumping up in the timeline and reappearing in the sequel, which has me so psyched. It's funny because when I read the prequel, I remember being like, I love this, but it sort of feels like,
what's the point?
what's the point? I'm never going to see these characters again.
Yeah.
No,
Nope.
They're back.
Yep.
So this one follows Fern, the crass bookseller from Bookshops and Bone Dust. She decides to pack up the shop and move into Thune, where Viv's coffee shop now is in the timeline, so that their shops are neighbors. But it turns out that moving and starting over doesn't necessarily fix everything in her life. And one night Fern gets super drunk and then she wakes up next to a legendary warrior and an imprisoned chaos goblin.
Don't know what that is, but it sounds chaotic.
Can't wait to find out.
Yeah. So then this whole book is like more their adventures.
Gotcha. All those shenanigans.
And those shenanigans.
Okay. I mean,
it gets you out
I'm
of
so
Thune a
up
bit.
for it.
I know. I'm actually really interested in this one, but I didn't want to read the prequel. But I feel like maybe
But now
should.
you need to, yeah.
Yeah.
And Fern is super lovable.
Okay.
She's a ratkin, but she cusses nonstop.
Yeah.
She's just a hilarious character.
Okay, great. I'll read it too. My first cozy book is going to be The Enchanted Greenhouses by Sarah Beth Durst. Elena's going to roll her eyes because we read The Spell Shop by this author last year and she did not like it.
It was bad. It was
thought
really bad.
I didn't think it was bad. I think there was room for improvement. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just like nostalgic for the fall because as soon as I saw this at the library, I was like, I want to be back there.
The covers do like
They're
pull you
like
in.
so cute. Yes. This is set in the same world as The Spell Shop, and it follows a character that was very briefly mentioned in that book. It's the creator of everybody's favorite character from The Spell Shop, the sentient spider plant named Kaz.
Right. Everyone's favorite.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'll
Kaz.
stop talking smack.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. To be fair, she gets punished for creating this sentient spider plant.
That's kind of satisfying.
And I do agree. Like, she deserved it, okay? Kaz was annoying as hell. She got turned into a statue, like a wooden statue or whatever.
That's rough.
And this all transpires in the spell shop. So this book picks up where this woman, Turlu, awakens from having previously been a statue. And she is on an island that is covered with magical greenhouses everywhere. And it's nearly deserted, apart from, of course, the gardener who takes care of all of these greenhouses. The grumpy gardener.
Oh, of course.
I think that this follows a very similar path as the spell shop. Essentially, Turlu and the gardener realize that the island's magic is waning and they have to figure out how to revitalize it. It has a lot of the same quirky, like the magic of the island is very cool. It's got like sentient plants and like weird flowers and all the things that like were cute and cozy from the spell shop.
Admittedly, I did like the like fixing up the cottage, fixing up the garden.
So I'm going to read this.
Great. I wish you well.
I'm hoping that she basically tailored her craft a little bit.
I do think, like a more tight plot structure would go a long way. And the vibes were there. So
I'll let you know.
All right, my next cozy pick is Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Sutanto. I am just intrigued by this. The protagonist is a 60-year-old self-proclaimed tea expert. How adorable is that?
Love that.
And I think she's just like super nosy, as you can probably tell from this cover. Mm-hmm. And she's like always spying on the neighbors, you know? And she's a very internet savvy 60-something-year-old because she's always on the internet doing like at-home armchair sleuthing. And then one day a mystery falls right into her lap when she wakes up and there is a dead man on the floor of her tea shop. She doesn't trust the police to do their job.
Of course.
I don't know why, but she decides to take justice into her own hands and investigate the murder.
I'm pretty sure we picked this up in a little free library.
We did. We did get this from a little free library, and it's always satisfying to read something you found for free.
And everybody said that they loved it when we picked it up. So I think that will be good.
Yeah, it's supposed to be adorable.
I had to add a little romance into this TBR, make it nice and well-rounded. So I have chosen Pumpkin Spice and Poltergeist by Allie Mulford and Elle Morrison.
Ooh, two authors.
Two authors. This is also a little witchy, but I've put it in this category because it revolves around a town that sounds very Halloween town-esque called Maple Hollow. And it just feels like more cozy than witchy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's a fine line sometimes.
Yeah. And I mean, you can put it anywhere, but this is where I've sat it. So this is a sapphic fall romance about Jordan, a witch who conjures up the ghost of her ex-girlfriend on their anniversary to try to find closure.
I mean, who among us?
Exactly. Like, everybody's thought about this at least once, but may this be a lesson to you. Once she conjures up this ghost, she realizes she can't get rid of the ghost. And so the ghost just mercilessly follows her around until she finds someone new.
Gotcha. She's being haunted
She's
now.
being haunted by her ex until she finds a new lover.
Oh, that is quite the cautionary tale.
Thankfully, there's a hot new girl in town who could fit the bill for her new lover. But it remains to be seen whether or not this new lover can handle essentially the spookiness of Maple Hollow, the town.
This is such a lesbian plotline.
Honestly, if you read the Goodreads reviews, there's so many people saying like this is the gayest book I've ever read.
This sounds like so, you know how
it's
lesbians
so
always stay friends with their exes.
Yeah, and like just want to talk.
And you end up having to like be friends with their ex.
Yeah. So I'm actually really into it. Is that all we have for this category? No, you have
No,
one more.
I also have
This one's so fascinating.
Okay. The fact that I haven't read this yet is just ridiculous to me.
I've never heard of this.
It's a very popular YA.
Oh, okay.
And what I'm talking about is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. Gorgeous cover. I see this. I think I have it in my school library. And the fact that I haven't read it yet is like a crime. It sounds so good and right up my alley. So this book is set in a town where the villagers believe they have to sacrifice a baby to a witch every year. The witch like lives in the forest and the town's like, okay, gotta sacrifice a baby. Unbeknownst to the villagers, the witch is actually a good witch and she is taking the babies and like rehoming them to a village on the other side of the forest where they don't just give up their babies.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She usually feeds the babies starlight to sustain them as she's rehoming them, but this story follows a girl who she accidentally feeds moonlight, which apparently affects her in some crazy ways. I'm a little fuzzy on the details, but I want to be surprised.
Interesting.
And the good witch lives with a swamp monster and like a little tiny baby dragon, which...
That feels very relevant to mention, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, a little tiny baby dragon. I will be reading this.
It's YA? Is that why you have it? Or like middle grade or something? Why do you have it in your library? Like it's like
not
sacrificing babies though. I don't understand.
But it's
what
not
is
sacrificing
YA?
babies. Okay, we should make a whole separate
We
video
should,
about
honestly.
this because yeah, the lines are blurry.
Okay, that's next. We are going to move on to our witchy books, which we don't have a ton of this year.
Yeah.
I feel like Elena did a heavy dose of witch books last year. I slacked on my list, and Elena
There were some duds.
Yeah, didn't really like any of the ones that
There
she
was like
read.
2 that were like good.
So I feel like we're a little witched out, but I feel pretty confident about the ones that we have on this list. The first of which is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. This is the same author who wrote
The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches.
I can never remember that title, honestly.
It's a little bit of a complicated one.
We've been waiting literal years for this book.
Oh my gosh, the way they kept pushing back the publishing date.
It was kind of strange, and it's come straight out in paperback, but I have heard that it's good, so I'm not too concerned. This is about a witch in the same universe as A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches who gets exiled from her guild and her powers get like taken away or something.
Yeah.
Because she resurrects her aunt.
aunt?
I don't know
Yeah.
why I'm reading all these books about witches resurrecting people.
Yeah, no kidding.
But here we are. So then she gets relegated to just like a normal life with her aunt. But then one day she comes across a spell that could potentially restore her powers. But she needs the help of the quintessential grumpy librarian.
Another grumpy librarian.
We love...
Not another after me, but another after the grumpy librarian from her other book.
Who was an adorable love interest.
Yes.
Such like a green flag love interest.
Yes.
So I have high hopes that this librarian will be equally as green flag. Together, I assume they're going to figure out how to restore her powers. But more than anything, I've heard that this is like very heavily focused on the found family aspect.
Ooh.
Which again,
love that.
harps back to her first book, and that's why we loved that book as well. Feels so cozy and like so fall. I have also heard, controversially, that there is a sex scene in this. There is a spicy,
Spice?
yes,
Spice
in cozy fantasy, and the people are divided on whether or not that is appropriate.
Ooh, I cannot wait to make my own opinion.
I cannot imagine it being a problem, but I will let you know.
Yeah, we will report
And
back.
you are obviously going to read this.
Yeah, I will definitely be reading
okay.
this too. Okay, my first witchy pick is The Weaver and the Witch Queen by Genevieve Gornichek. I love this cover.
Mm-hmm.
I've had this on my TBR shelf for a long time, and I'm always like, you know, when you're looking at your TBR and there's one that you're like, ooh, maybe that, but then you realize you really need to read X other book.
Yeah.
This is the one that I'm always like, ooh, maybe that. So it's time that I prioritize it. This is a Viking age witchy tale about 2 women. One is like wanting this cozy, quiet home life, but her village is attacked by Vikings, and her sister gets kidnapped by the raiders, prompting her to go on this like long journey to try to rescue her sister. And the other main character fled her homeland. She's like a royal, I believe.
Okay.
And she flees to learn the ways of the witch. But then there's like a prophecy situation. There's a wise woman that makes a prophecy. That girl's fate is entangled with the fate of King Eric. He's like the heir to all of Norway. And now her fate is like all tied up with this king. So I'm assuming she's the witch queen, and the other girl rescuing your sister is the weaver.
I like this because it's a different type of witch.
Yeah, it's a Viking
It
witch.
switches it up.
I really enjoyed The Fury of the Gods
Yeah.
by John Gwynne.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of in that Viking mood.
Next is The Bewitching by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. Elena and I have read, she has read Mexican Gothic, and I have read The Beautiful Ones, both by this author. And neither of those books really appealed to us. But I have actually started this one because it conveniently just popped up on my feed a couple weeks ago when I was ready for fall, and I found it at the library, so I thought, heck yeah. And so far, I like it. I actually like it a lot better than The Beautiful Ones. I think the writing is way more compelling.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Essentially, this is a story about 3 different women in different timelines who all come to the realization that they are being bewitched. I really like how Sylvia Moreno Garcia has woven, as you can tell from my Isabel Canas love, I love Mexican folklore. I just find it very fascinating. And this book really interestingly weaves Mexican folklore with a like New England academia setting, which I just find so fascinating.
Yeah.
And it really like adds an element of like eeriness to it. So far, so good. I'll see kind of where it goes. It feels very predictable in where it's going, to be honest. But the
Maybe it'll
writing
switch
is
it up on
beautiful. Maybe. And like, I feel like it's just slow and it's going to pick up. So we'll see. But I know everyone is talking about this, and I desperately want to like this author more.
Yeah, she's so popular, and yeah, Mexican Gothic didn't really do it for me, but
Was
maybe
it
it was just a
spooky?
dud. Yeah.
Because this is like, what's appealing to me is that it's a little spooky, like within my range, but it's like interesting.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So we will see. But this is one that I'm doing first.
Okay, my next witchy pick is A Tall Dark Trouble by Vanessa Montalban. It just, I don't know, it caught my eye. I've been looking for these sort of differently witchy stories.
Yeah.
I feel like last year I read like 10 of the same witchy books.
This like feminist manifesto, like
feminine rage, which totally something to be said for that.
Yes.
Venko was amazing.
You liked that one.
Loved it.
Yeah.
But like Wayward, not for me. So I just wanted to go in a different direction with the witchiness this year. So this is a multi-generational YA witchy situation focusing on a Cuban family in what time period? The 1980s. 1980s Cuba. Let's go.
I love reading about Cuban history too.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's multiple plot lines going on here in the present day. There are twin sisters dealing with a classic like practical magic type love curse where you can't love. So that's going on, but then they also start getting premonitions of local murders before they happen. This part I'm a little bit unclear on, but then the other storyline is like a girl in the 1980s, and she knows that she will one day have to take her mother's place as the head of the local coven, which to me sounds great. But she's like not into it. And she's like, oh, the future feels inescapable, and she's trying to forge her own path, which,
grass is always greener.
But I would like to forge my own path as the head of a local witch coven, but to each their own.
Interesting. That's not at all what I thought it was going to be. A Tall Dark Trouble sounds like a man.
A man, yeah.
Which, if it's witchy, it probably is still a man.
I'm sure there's a man.
Yeah. My last witchy is a little bit of a deviation as well. It's called The Hounding by Zenob Purvis.
10 out of 10 pronunciation. I assume.
I assume. This is a debut novel, and it's getting a lot of buzz. It's set in spooky 18th century England and like a little hamlet in England where the villagers are very used to a bunch of strange occurrences. But the latest development in the village is particularly unsettling and involves a rumor that the sisters of a local family are turning into hounds.
Hounds? Like dogs?
Yes, like
Oh, dear.
dogs at night. I don't know if it's at night or if it's just wherever.
At the grocery
Whenever.
store.
Yeah. But what I've heard is this is kind of a twist on the Crucible, on the witch hunt, Salem witch trial type motif. It's supposed to be heavily allegorical, which I don't necessarily mind. And I do feel like it's important for us to include some sort of like witch trial type book every year in our list. But last year mine was Slewfoot by Brahm, and I personally really disliked it. I know a lot of people loved it. I
it was
really
just
hated
not for
it.
you.
It was not for me. So I'm kind of, and this feels kind of similar. So I am interested. I think it all boils down to like women who behave slightly different than convention and how people perceive that and how they
and how society tries to correct it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think, this is more of a lit fit book, and I do want to check it out, and we'll see. Maybe it'll be good.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah. We're on to our last one.
Yeah, last category, arguably best category.
I think so too. I definitely feel like we had the most fun coming up with this vibey list.
These are the ones I'm the most excited about.
Yeah. Great, then you start.
Okay, I shall.
With what?
With, let's start with Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil.
I want to read this, and I don't know when I'm going to do it. I've got so much to do.
I know, it's a big book, too. I've never read a V.E. Schwab. I think this might be kind of a weird one to be starting with, but it has a lot of elements that appeal to me. This is a sapphic vampire story full of, like, yearning, which...
This is literally you in a book.
That's
like,
so...
Yeah.
I just eat that up,
yeah.
You know? There's violence. It's also... heavily allegorical, I believe.
Oh,
Lots
really?
of symbolism, I've
did not know that. Okay.
It's supposed to be heavy on the vibes, light on the plot. I don't know if that's how V.E. Schwab's other works are. I feel like no, from what I've heard.
The ones that I have read, I feel like are heavy on the vibes, low on the plot. And
Okay, great.
I haven't really liked them because of it, but I don't know.
I like that in general. I typically enjoy that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm really excited for this. It's about like 3 women who want too much. It's getting good reviews.
I know. I want to read it. I'm hoping it's the first V.E. Schwab that I like.
Me too. Ooh, this cover too. There's so many good covers.
This is so cool. This randomly got recommended to me. It's called Strange Beasts by Susan J. Morris. I think I saw it on like a very random Bookstagram account, and it appealed because the theme of my reading this year inadvertently has been Victorian England. I've read so many like Victorian England type settings, and this is a Victorian fantasy horror mystery-esque book. It mixes Dracula with Sherlock Holmes, and it's also like a sapphic story, which it seems to be another theme of our reading this year.
Yeah, also inadvertently.
But it just like, I don't know, it seems so appealing. So the 2 main characters, the one is Samantha Harker, who is the daughter of Dracula's killer. And she is a detective, and she has this like special ability where she can channel the minds of monsters, and it like helps her solve cases. But she has to like keep it on the lowdown because it can also make her look crazy. And she has to team up with Dr. Helena Moriarty, who is the daughter of James Moriarty, who is the notorious villain of Sherlock Holmes. The enemy of Sherlock Holmes.
The Napoleon of crime.
The Napoleon of crime. Exactly. Together, they have to solve a murder mystery in the streets of Victorian Paris, which is a slight deviation from my reading this year, so I'm looking forward to that. And it's just full of like monsters and mayhem and fantasy elements, but also within a historical context. And it is also focused on like a feminist lens, which gotta love that. It is also apparently an ongoing series. I just learned that the second one came out or is coming out recently.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well that's good because if it's good, then you can just
I can
cruise
continue.
through.
And like, we gotta love a mashup like this, right? Yeah.
Next, I have a gorgeous Illumicrate edition of The Raven Scholar.
It is so pretty.
Illumicrate, like, just nails it.
I'm jealous, yeah.
Like, look at the sprayed edges. Woo! I love. Okay, so this is by Antonia Hodgson. And our main character is called Nima. She is a Raven Scholar. What is a Raven Scholar?
Scholar of Ravens.
Duh, yeah. Obviously. And she is unexpectedly thrust into the middle of a tournament that is supposed to decide the next emperor. So it's a big deal.
Okay.
This book has the deadly trials trope, which we have sometimes massively enjoyed in the past. And also, it's like a locked room murder mystery, except the locked room is an island.
I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of political intrigue, scheming, secrets, backstabbing, betrayals, all that good stuff. And dark academia vibes with a plot that's supposed to be very clever. I'm very interested in that. A lot of the reviews use the word clever, you know?
That's appealing.
I'm like, okay.
Everybody's been talking about this recently.
Yeah, I've seen it everywhere. I got it like months ago too.
It's
so
such a chonker, though. I mean,
it is a chonker.
Yeah. I wanted to add a little sci-fi into this list. So I have included Of Monsters and Mainframes by Barbara Truelove. This just looks really hilarious to me. It centers on two AI, like a spaceship AI and its medical AI, who are trying to figure out why all of the passengers on their spaceship are dying.
Ooh.
And they come to the realization that it's essentially a paranormal problem. I think it's very like fun and tongue-in-cheek, and it brings up like a bunch of different elements. Like it's got Dracula, it's got werewolves. Apparently it even has these like ancient fish people.
Oh my God.
And the two AIs are basically just having to figure out what the heck's going on and how to save the ship. That's all I know about this, but it sounds hilarious.
Yeah, I'm imagining like a buddy cop situation, but with the AI.
Yeah, and it's like sci-fi plus like bringing in all these paranormal elements.
Yeah, what a fun genre bending
Exactly.
like crossover moment.
I think it'll be a quick read. So yeah, I'm gonna try this one.
Cool. Definitely let me know what you think
If it's
'cause
good.
I'm intrigued.
I forgot that one of the first reviews on Goodreads said it's for fans of Gideon the Ninth, Murderbot, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and Becky Chambers.
Stop.
I was
my
like,
God.
that is the weirdest mix and also like should
Yeah.
be perfect for us.
Yeah.
I am also ambitiously going to try to read The Devils by Joe Abercrombie.
Ooh.
I've never read a Joe Abercrombie before. I will say that I started The Blade itself and I didn't DNF it really. I guess I did, but
You
not.
softy enough.
I soft DNF'd it. I do kind of want to read it. So it might be weird to start with this book because I've heard that it's a very big deviation from his normal kind of epic fantasy. This is more fun and more about the entertainment of fantasy storytelling, more tongue-in-cheek, more just like silly. So this story follows Brother Diaz, who is a priest. He's waiting on his new assignment, but it seems like his new assignment is to have a congregation of murderers and thieves, and he has to go on this mission, which I'm unclear exactly what this mission is, but it sounds like it must involve these flesh-eating elves who are invading Europe.
Oh my God. Flesh eating. That's
I know.
visceral.
Isn't it? I don't really know what to expect here. When I started looking through the reviews, it literally... You know how on Goodreads, most people write a synopsis of the book before they go to their reviews?
Mhm.
I had a very hard time finding somebody who would give me a synopsis of this book. I don't know if that's because it's difficult or what, or they just had a lot of things
Feelings
to actually
and-
say.
Yeah.
Some people said there were some Anastasia vibes,
Ooh.
some Pirates of the Caribbean vibes. And that it just has like pirates, werewolves, flesh-eating elves, like a whole slew of fantastical creatures. I've heard it's incredibly crass.
Locker room
Talk and like toilet talk. Like what do you call like bathroom?
Toilet humor?
Toilet.
Oh,
I know. Like I'm so confused.
that doesn't sound appealing
I'm
at all.
intrigued. I'm like, Joe Abercrombie, what is this? Like, will I get a skewed
this for
version?
boys?
Yeah, but that's why I'm like, well then fuck that. I'm just going to read this. And I'll probably be like, it was disgusting. I hated it.
And my last book to talk about today is another Illumicrate edition. This one is A Treachery of Swans by A.B. Poranek.
Also beautiful.
Oh my gosh, this art.
And the
Like,
edges,
oh my
the sprayed edges are
goodness.
so pretty.
Yeah.
They're like
And
feathers.
I haven't been showing this, but all these Illumicrates also have artwork on the inside, artwork on the other inside. I think I would remember what the
wild.
technical
Just the hard
names are for
back
these.
of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
And it's like gilded. See that? Yeah. So pretty. I mean, a pretty book does just draw me in. This is like a swan princess retelling. The main character is literally called Odile.
That's like the Black Swan, yeah? Oh, wait. The Black Swan was from the Swan Princess.
Yeah, it's
Right.
swans all the way down.
Swans
okay?
all the way down. Got it.
So magic has been outlawed. Odile is trying to find a way to restore it, and she's forced to recruit the help of the princess. And I think some romantic sparks may be flying between her and the princess.
I love it. That one looks good. I've heard a lot about that too recently. And our last official TBR pick, I had to put a romantasy in here. We've not given up on you completely, romantasy. And I have been hearing good things about this. The House of Blight by Maxim Martino. I've heard that if you like Rachel Gillig and you like dark gothic fantasies, then you will like this. And I happen to love Rachel Gillig.
Yes.
So I think that this might be a good romantasy pick for us. It's a story about Adira, who is a thread maker. And she can also heal people by essentially like manipulating their soul threads. But it's a secret that she can do that because she's not supposed to have magic. I don't know why it's a secret, actually. But I do know that it comes at a cost. When she uses this magic to heal people, it also takes a sliver of her life as well.
Ooh.
Sadly, Adira gets caught in the act. She is in the midst of saving, I think, her brothers from this like mysterious blight, and somebody sees her using her magic to heal them. So this powerful, sinister family catches wind of her abilities and forces her to become a ward in their huge gothic mansion and find a cure for this mysterious blight. This is a blend of romance, but it also just has like a very eerie atmosphere. I've heard that the banter is actually really good and that the FMC is competent and interesting and they like her decisions, which is a key aspect of romantasy that we are looking for. Whether that is true remains to be seen, but I mean, it's teeing us up. Like, it's got to be good.
Yeah.
We got to see. And I think it's perfect vibey for the fall. It feels very dark and gothic. I mean, even the cover is, and I found it at the library.
And am I seeing Moth Companion?
Oh my gosh, yes. There's
your
a moth companion.
A moth?
Adira has a moth companion.
I don't know if I like that.
I'm into that. It's very like Gandalf.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
sure.
yeah.
Actually, that's fair. Yep,
Yeah.
that's fair.
So we'll see.
She's not like the other girls.
She's got a moth.
She's got a moth. Okay, so that is the bulk of the TBR. There are a couple honorable mentions that we've either spoken about so many times that it would be overkill, or just for various reasons, we're not getting all into it. But I am also very excited to read the sequel to The Tainted Cup, which is A Drop of Corruption. I just couldn't quite explain why that's a fall book to me, like mystery detectives.
Even just the explanation of the fantasy world feels very vibey, like very kind of, I don't know, fall.
I think it's giving fall.
Yeah.
Also, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, the new Rachel Gillig. Erin just read it and she loved it, so I will absolutely be reading that.
Perfect for this time of year.
Mm-hmm. And there's one from last year that I never got to, If We Were Villains.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? It's like a Shakespeare troupe and a murder mystery situation. I still have it, and I never read it last year, and I regret that. So maybe this year will be the year. And lastly, The Love Hypothesis, Baby Little Allie Hazelwood action. I never read it. They're making a movie out of it.
I was surprised, but like multiple people have said this is very fall coded.
Yeah, I think kind of because the school setting, you know?
I've read Love Theoretically, which I think is like the one right after this. I don't
I've
remember
only read
being
Bride,
very fall.
so.
I know, you have like a very skewed understanding of Allie
Exactly.
Hazelwood.
So I feel like this is like quintessential Allie Hazelwood.
No, I agree.
Women in STEM, Adam Driver looking man.
And that concludes our ultimate fall TBR. Hopefully you have found something on this list that you would like to read. If you have already read any of these books, please let us know if they are good. It's a big old list, so it would be useful.
Yeah, let us know what's worth our time.
And let us know what you guys gravitate towards during the fall. Do you like the witchy books? Do you like the cozy books? I'm always like very interested to see what people gravitate towards.
Yeah.
Please make sure to like and subscribe to our channel if you are new. Check out our Etsy shop so you can see our cute little shelfies for the fall. And until our next video, we will see you later.
See you soon.